Hey, awesomes, how's it going? All right, so we're in week 9. As I said, this week here, I'm getting caught up. I'm getting caught up. You guys are probably skedaddling right on. So again, my sincerest apologies for not getting this out to you last week. But this video here is going to talk a little bit about Project 3 as well as the sample that's posted. And this is that one that's titled it's Winter 15 Project 3 sample.pdf. And there's a few things I just want to point out. This particular sample here, so you've got the to the professor, right, from the team name, the date, right, and then of course the subject, and it goes right into the introduction, and then it goes to audience, and then objectives. And so I wanted to just point out, as you're looking at that one, and kind of to make a comparison of what that looks like. And so I'm on the Project 3 assignment sheet. And so you've got introduction, right? So if we do kind of a one-to-one comparison, if we're looking at headings, and I don't mind you using headings and even subheadings. So we've got introduction, then it goes to audience, and this one here has objectives, then audience, right? So you've got these, the darker bullet points become kind of the heading for the discussion or the needs assessment, kind of what we call like the body, right? So we got the introduction, the body, and then of course we'll have the conclusion to come. And so I just want to point out that particular group just flipped it. They put the audience and identified their audience and their stakeholders first before they did objectives. So it's not a quote unquote wrong, okay, or a problem. But I did want to point that out to you. So in case you were wondering why the sample perhaps maybe looked different, they just felt, I think, with their particular topic, that it made more sense to them to do audience first and then go into their objectives and segue into research methods. Objectives could have come first, then audience. I think that those are fairly interchangeable, if that makes sense. Okay. So after objectives, we kind of get back, quote unquote, on track, if you will, of kind of at least the order. So you notice how they just kind of keyed in on, okay, objectives. They're going to identify audience, and then they've got research methods, right? So we look over here at this one, right? So our next heading, research methods, and then they're going to outline, if you will, talk about, discuss, and then of course, specify what they were doing. Of course, now remember, as I said in the last video, the overview video for this week, and I think as I've said to you many times, personal, face-to-face, one-to-one, in-person, whatever. Interviews or observations and things of this nature are not expected this semester. Okay, do not put yourself into harm's way. Keep safe, stay healthy. All right, do surveys if you want to do interviews or some sort of thing over Zoom or whatever. You're more than welcome to do those things depending on how you want to gather the information, but they are most certainly not required. All right, so here's the research methods. And they decided to use this criteria aspect, looking into theirs. Now we have team schedule. So now let's go back and look here. We got research methods, right? They talked about everything through here. Now we got team schedule, and of course then followed by team responsibility. So these become kind of like the main headings, if you will, right? So we got this team schedule, and they're using a version of the task scheduler, if you will, right? And then we've got contribution values, and then team responsibilities, right? So each one of the team members is given a responsibility through bullet points, and then correspondingly we have the conclusion. So I just wanted you to show you how that was set up, and it's just one. It's a really good example, and for the conclusion and everything else. Okay, so the final thing that I have to point out about this sample real quickly, and this is one of those samples that's kind of provided to me. So the references, while they're in APA, this is backwards, right? The first line, the BD banking standard CPT, should be justified left, and then the second line should be indented. It's just backwards, and we'll talk about that more. We're going to talk a little bit more about APA formatting, which is the formatting that's we're hoping to learn, and I'll be discussing that in greater detail. But before you just assume that this references page was right, they're flipped, and I only have a PDF version, so I can't go in and correct it. So this is supposed to create a hanging indent so that the last name is flush left, and so that the last names or the names that they are listed under here in this particular part are flush left. And so that's what they call hanging off to the side. So you should have authors' last names running down through